just on Jim Chalmers, hilarious bit of work from him, this essay, Reimagining Capitalism. I mean, really, this is not what they took to the election. Never mind the delusions of grandeur here, but the fact is he's got absolutely no mandate to reimagine anything, let alone capitalism. You know, you implement the policies that you took to the election, but this is just radical stuff that was never discussed pre-election.
It's radical, and yet it's not, because this is so much of a retread and a reboot and a rehash of everything that Kevin Rudd and the world's greatest treasurer, Wayne Swan, tried to do back in the day, including right down to the 7,000-word essay in the Monthly saying, now we're going to be the ones to get rid of neoliberalism, whatever that is. If there was one policy prescription, though, in that entire essay, and there was so much of it, was incredible waffle and Turnbull-esque call-outs to Heraclitus and things like that to make it all sound like a very sort of, smart first-year university essay.
Exactly.
The one thing that actually came out of that as an actual policy, and by the way, it's so rude for Chalmers and his backers in some of the Nine media to be saying, oh, nobody read it. No. I read the thing 3 times, and there's one thing that he talks about doing, and that is making your super invest in unprofitable government projects in housing, in climate, in the environment, because, of course, they can't print any more money because the whole days of, low interest rates and just turning on the money presses are on. So now the question is, who would stand between Jim Chalmers and a bucket of your super? That's going to be the new slogan.
Well,
about
if you remember at the previous election that Scott Morrison won, you had Bill Shorten and Chris Bowen going to steal franking credits from, basically the pot of money that pensioners, people have put aside. This is far, far worse. This is using money to finance dodgy government schemes. Rita, you're 100% correct to say, what credentials does this guy have to say he's reinventing anything? I mean, he hasn't got a single run on the board in any sphere of enterprise, of business that he's ever achieved by himself. He was Wayne Swan's sidekick, fresh out of uni. I mean, the guy has no skills, and yet he's going to come after your money because he thinks he knows better how to spend your money than you do. This is the heart of Rita. Socialism. Everything that socialists do. We'll be talking to Alex Antic later in the program about communism and socialism. This is at the heart of it. Governments taking your money because they think they can spend it better, and they always fail.
At least the previous Shorten proposed government was honest enough to take this to the election to say, this is what we believe in, these are the policies that we are going to implement.
And if you don't like it, don't vote for us. Great advice. Best thing Chris Bowen ever said.
But at least it was honest.
Yes.
This was not honest. They went to the election promising pretty much, we're more of the same. We are a safe pair of hands. We're not radical. We're not woke. Remember that Daily Telegraph front page? Albo rejects wokeism. As soon as he's come in, and we've seen nothing but woke policies and now radical economic agenda.
I'm sorry, there's just one more thing that needs to be said about the superannuation thing. What Jim Chalmers is doing is suggesting that superannuation funds be forced to breach their fiduciary duty to their shareholders and to retirees and not make the greatest profit for them to keep them off the pension and so they can, have the nice retirement that, remember, Paul Keating wanted this system allegedly for them to use to plan for it and instead go and fund every single government folderol that comes down the pike.
Okay, it's worse than that. Sorry, let me just interrupt. It's worse than that. You read it 3 times. I only read it once and I was gagging and spewing by the time I was halfway through it, so I couldn't go any further. You've obviously got a stronger stomach than I do, James. But the word that leapt out at me was taxonomy. Taxonomy, a new taxonomy based on climate change. And this is what it's all about. This is what it all boils down to. This bloke Chalmers is straight out of the World Economic Forum module whereby, government is going to do everything to solve the planet, save the planet from climate change, invest in all these dodgy enterprises like green hydrogen, which will always fail and never succeed, waste the money that you earned during your lifetime, you put aside as your sort of, retirement pot. They're going to take it, waste it on climate renewables garbage, which will disappear, and there goes your retirement. Nice work,
And
Charles.
you see what is happening, to understand why this is happening and why this is popular among the certain economic class here, is quite simply because these people see no economic productivity coming from any other area of the economy, no new inventions, no new innovation, no new productivity gains, and eventually the death of mining and all the sorts of things that actually do have productivity. So all economic activity now has to be circled around converting the economy to this new thing. Now, it's not actually creating any wealth, it's actually destroying it, but
Absolutely.
it looks on paper like it's creating wealth. That is the scam behind an awful lot of this.
It does create wealth for the very elite. The ones they're making money. And something else that we've got to worry about, because the International Monetary Fund is now encouraging Jim Chalmers, I'm hoping he's not listening to this advice, to tax the family home. They're saying, well, we've got it, the homeowners have got it too good. They don't pay.
He'll be writing it down. It'll be in his memo thing. Oh, remember tomorrow? Oh, yeah, tax the family home. I'll do that. You watch, reader. You bet he's listening. They always do.